Good evening, football fans, and welcome. You're alive. Third down with Morgan Holder. I am Morgan.
And I'm Holder. Thanks for tuning in and listening to our postseason podcast.
So, Holder, are you ready for this show? Right?
I wasn't earlier, but yes, I'm ready now.
You're awake, right? Okay, good. So I like. I want to give a shout out to Undisputed with one of the greatest tight ends ever, and Shannon Sharp. First take with best sports analyst and Stephen A. Smith, and Good Morning Football, the best breaking news football show.
That's it.
That is it. That's it. It's just three of them, big guy.
I'm not going to hound you on your selection, but I still disagree. I do like Stephen A. Smith, but I like Ryan Clark better on the pivot.
That's because he's a former Pittsburgh fan or player.
Former Pittsburgh Super Bowl winning safety.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
Mm.
And get out.
Those are okay. Not great, but
those get the most ratings. Come on.
They're okay.
Why are we here, Morgan? Why are we here? You know, I watched something today about the Minnesota Vikings, and not only did they lose to Pittsburgh in the Super Bowl, they lost to Miami in the Super Bowl.
You know, we're not here talking about the Vikings yet. We are talking about the AFC, NFC West, and I don't think the Vikings are there. I think that's the NFC North. I know, but I don't want to, overdo my team, all the time. I'm not you.
Overdo is the right word.
I'm not you. I am not you. Last week we talked about the AFC and NFC South. This week we're going to talk about the AFC, NFC West. Holder, we're going to start with the AFC West. Your take so far. I know the season just ended. Your take on next year. Do you think that?
Why do you do this to me?
Because, man, I'm tired of playing the bad guy here. It's your turn.
Do this to me? First and foremost, I just want to open up by saying this past season, the AFC West was a big disappointment from top to bottom.
Didn't a team out of AFC,
Chargers, a promising team,
but a team
outside of the playoffs.
But a team that was in AFC West won the Super Bowl. How's that disappointing?
That's a huge disappointment. What are you talking about? That division should have been a lot closer than what it was. Period. With the exception of Denver, and Denver was supposed to be the leader of that division for the professional.
That's what everybody was saying.
All that. So from that disappointment, the Chargers disappointment. Kansas City wasn't supposed to be as good without Hill, right? Did go on to win. And what is going on with the Raiders?
Well,
clearly those teams are talented, but
I'm going to start off by saying I agree with you 100% with certain things. Certain things I agree with you on, that everybody did have Denver because of Russell Wilson going to Super Bowl, winning that division. That never happened. They was dead last 5-12. That was the record. Now I had the Chargers going to Super Bowl. Of course, you know that I had them going to Super Bowl. Even with our week one kickoff of our podcast, I had them going. That was a very disappointment, especially for the ending, because I didn't know they was going to lose against Jacksonville. I thought they was better, stronger, better coaching, but I was wrong. And then Kansas City, I had them not even making the Super Bowl because of Hill. Everybody counted them out because trading Tyreek Hill, one of the best receivers in the league, and they had no number one option but Patrick Mahomes made it work. And then Las Vegas. I definitely have to disagree with you. I don't think Las Vegas had the talent to take that division. I mean, yeah, they had Carr and they had Josh Jacobs, they had Adams, Devontae Adams, but that defense wasn't even that great last year.
But you were the one talking all the hype of Carr and Adams being reunited.
Yeah, it's a good chemistry, but that defense needed to work. Defense wins championships. I told you that. I'll say it. I will always say defense wins championships. Without a defense, you're not going to win anything.
Really?
Yes.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Eagles had the number one defense.
They did. But that Kansas offense was sparking.
You're saying your belief that defense wins games. What happened?
I mean,
Hurts lost the game and fumble, and they scored.
That's what I was going to say. It wasn't defense.
And also, the defense let Mahomes. What did they put up in the second half? 24 points, I think.
Again, defense with championships. That defense choked under pressure. They didn't come up to play. So we're.
It's hard to believe a number one defense can show up to play.
I believe they got too cocky and too confident. But Mahomes was.
Talk about cocky and confident. What about the 85 Bears? Now, they were cocky. They made a video of the Super Bowl shuffle before the Super Bowl.
I can't argue with you with that. Can't argue with that.
I mean, that's just history. We're talking about last season, though, right?
I mean, same thing. Both of them are history. The season's done. It's over with. Now we're in off season. So, but
what else you got? So we're stuck on the AFC West right now. So
absolutely. So
clearly,
where do you? How do you think it's going to play out? Las Vegas. Of course, they need a quarterback. Do you think they're going to draft one? Do you think they're going to sign one? Do you think they should trade for one?
I don't know. For me, the Raiders listen to their players more than let the professionals do all the drafting, and because Derek Carr wanted Devontae Adams, right?
Exactly.
And they went and got him. Didn't really do a whole lot for the team, but
Did you hold on? Time out. Time out. I gotta stop you for a second.
Rebuilding, or are the Raiders just trying to pick up?
Did you say Devontae Adams didn't do anything in Las Vegas? I gotta clarify that.
It didn't affect the team to where they would be contender.
Okay. I just had to clarify that up. Okay. Because I was gonna say
Jacobs was the meat and potatoes of that team. Come on. Didn't he lead the league in rushing?
I'm gonna look that up right now. Hold on. Yes, he did in yards, but
yes, he did. Did Devontae Adams lead the league in receiving?
Of course not. You know who did though? Justin Jefferson. Anyways, not Paul the Viking. But Devontae Adams was number third. He was number 3.
A big deal.
He was a big deal. He was number 3rd in yards, and he was first in touchdown.
He wasn't a big deal for the team.
No, he was a big deal.
Not for his stats.
I'm just saying he's a big deal.
For the team.
He was a big deal still. I'm just saying. Just a big deal.
Stick to the facts.
I'm just saying he was a big deal.
We're not talking about individual stats. We're talking about team goals.
Well, I'm just saying here. I mean, I'm still saying he was a big fact.
Yeah, I like that playoff game he won.
I mean,
did they make it?
No.
No, they didn't make
but
it.
any time that he got under 100 yards, they lost. Anytime he got 100 yards, they lost. Over 100 yards, they won. So I'm going to say he was a big factor in the offense.
Oh, really? So what was their record?
The record was
Yeah.
6-11.
Okay, so he only got 6 games over 100 yards.
You know what? I'm gonna have to hold on. Go back here. I was just looking at it. I'm gonna go back here and I'm gonna tell you how many games he got 100 yards. But he was a big factor.
Yeah,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 games with 100 yards.
Okay. Well, what was the problem there? Why couldn't they get him more touches?
I'm gonna say Derek Carr.
Kind of chemistry.
I'm gonna say Derek Carr. Even though Derek Carr was 14th in passing yards, if you go back and look at his quarterback rating, he was almost in the middle of the pack. He was ranked 15th, so that's not good.
Yeah, but you're saying he's a good quarterback.
I'm saying he's average. I'm saying they should have. I'm saying coming in they had good chemistry. They went the same college. They played together. Even in the offseason when Devontae Adams was in Green Bay, they still practiced together. A lot of good chemistry. Maybe it was the coaching. I don't know.
You know, the purpose for this show is you and I to attack each other. And I'm attacking you, and you're still spinning your wheels instead of admitting defeat.
I haven't lost.
Okay. I, too, was fooled by the Chargers. Right? What happened? What was the breakdown?
I'm not gonna say you was fooled, and the reason why I say that is because week 6, you was like Jacksonville this, Jacksonville that, and I want to say you had Jacksonville beating the Chargers.
I did because of the way they had been playing toward the end of the season. But at the beginning of the season, and we both agreed that the Chargers would at least win that division.
I thought they would. I mean, that defense was going to be good. Justin Herbert was supposed to be the next big thing.
Oh, he's going to get a contract.
But here's the question. Would he want to stay in San Diego? Or not San Diego now. Los Angeles.
I think he would.
I think he has too much to offer. Yeah, but he has too much to offer to stay in a place where you know you're not going to get a Super Bowl ring, let alone the conference or the division.
But they have a good defense. Morgan, you said defense wins the game.
That is true. That is true. But with the coaching staff.
Better, but you got to give him weapons and protection.
Not just that, the coaching staff. I don't think the coaching staff is that good.
Well, the new coaching staff has to prove themselves. Right?
That's true.
So we don't know what the next season is going to be like. So you give them the benefit of the doubt right now because they're wiping the slate clean, per se, right?
That's what they say.
So when new head coaches come in, they usually bring in their own personal staff, right? So we'll see.
So before we go on to the NFC, how do you feel about the Kansas City Chiefs? They're losing one of the best offense coordinators. He went to the Commanders. So where do you think that's going to leave them?
I don't know. It's hard to argue that Patrick Mahomes isn't the best quarterback in the league right now because of his injuries and playing with his injuries. I'm not work without him.
I'm not doubting that he's not the greatest. I'm not doubting he's going to be the greatest quarterback. I'm just going to doubt that does he need his offense coordinator to push him, or is it really him?
I think it's him. Andy Reid is still there, and Andy Reid is the mastermind. Okay, even though they changed offensive coordinator, Andy Reid is still one of the best play calling coaches.
Okay, I'll give you that.
In the NFL.
I'll give you that. But I think Andy Reid's holding his coaching staff back from getting head coaching jobs?
No, how do you figure that? I mean, Andy Reid isn't holding Bieniemy back. Clearly, he let him go shop.
Yeah, but
Bieniemy left because he wants to be the head coach of Kansas City, and Andy's not ready to retire yet.
I don't think that's why he left.
I don't know why Bieniemy would make a lateral move
and go to a sorry team. I have no idea.
When he was clearly with a team that had potential to win again. I mean, do you think he wants credit to turn around the Commanders?
Maybe he wants to prove that maybe it's him instead of Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. I don't know. That's how I feel. I believe that it's all him.
I can't say that. I like Bieniemy, but Andy Reid was doing it when he was with the Eagles. Wasn't he?
He didn't get no
Packers too.
He was, but he didn't get no Super Bowl with the Eagles. They went to Super Bowl and lost.
But he had one of the most dynamic offenses in the NFL, right? And he knows players, right? Didn't he have LaShawn McCoy?
They did.
Right. They had Jackson at wide receiver.
They did, and
I mean, he knows skill players. That dude is.
But he also had Sorry STO. He also had Sorry STO there at the time, when they went to Super Bowl with McNabb.
Yeah, but Donovan McNabb too. He wasn't the greatest, but
what? Hold on.
Donovan McNabb.
Hold on. Time out. You can't not diss McNabb like that.
I can diss McNabb.
No.
You know why? Because he went to our rival high school, and it was an all-boys school, but they were a championship team. They won every year, Mount Carmel. And why would you even like a rival?
So you're trying to tell me you just have some love-hate there for McNabb because of that?
Oh, yeah, he beat us.
But you're saying he's not that good, but he beat you guys.
He wasn't that great in the NFL. I don't put him up there with Randall Cunningham. I certainly don't put him up there with Michael Vick.
I think he's better than Vic.
Sorry.
I think he's better than Vic.
What?
I think he's better than Vic.
Donovan McNabb was never.
Just saying.
A hype.
If he wasn't better than Michael Vick, how come Vic went to jail for dogfighting and McNabb didn't?
You put him up. That's outside the line.
I'm just saying.
Inside the stadium, Michael Vick was electrifying. What was Donovan McNabb?
Negative, and let me tell you why. Because Michael Vick went to the Eagles. I'll give you Randall Cunningham, but Michael Vick went to the Eagles with McNabb, and who started? Answer that question. Who started? It does matter. It does matter because you said Michael Vick is better than McNabb, but McNabb was still the starter. McNabb started.
Who wound up starting?
McNabb.
Because McNabb sucked.
McNabb left when Vic got started.
Michael Vick left Atlanta and went to the Eagles.
And did not start.
And you know why?
Because he got released.
Because Reed knows the talent.
But he did not start Vic until McNabb left.
That's correct. But why did McNabb leave?
He left. He wanted to be good. He wanted to show people. No. Negative.
Really? So when he left, where did he go?
Minnesota.
Did he get a Super Bowl?
No, but he went to the playoffs with Minnesota.
Did he get a Super Bowl?
The Michael Vick is Super Bowl.
He went to the Vikings, which has a habit of losing Super Bowls.
You're answering the question.
Right.
You're bypassing the question. The Michael Vick is Super Bowl.
No, he didn't.
Okay, exactly.
Vick was a better player.
No.
And more talented player.
Negative.
Than Donovan
Stop
McNabb.
it.
Donovan McNabb was good at Syracuse. When he got to the NFL,
Stop.
He was not great. I'm sorry.
Yes, he
was.
was.
He to the Hall of Fame?
He is. It's Michael Vick.
No, he's not.
It's Michael
No,
Vick.
he's not.
It's Michael Vick.
He might.
No, he's not.
Why wouldn't he?
Because it's Michael Vick. It's Michael Vick.
Yeah, there's more problems going on with in Philadelphia to win the Super Bowl.
And McNabb wanted Vick to come. McNabb lobbied for Vick.
Did Philadelphia win the Super Bowl?
They lost to the New England Patriots.
They also lost to
Oh, and I'll top it off.
Andy Reid.
McNabb is still the leading passer and a member of the Philadelphia Eagles Ring of Honor. He's also the franchise Hall of Famer.
And
It's Michael Vick.
franchise. That's not the Pro Football.
I'm just saying.
Michael Vick wasn't in Philly.
It doesn't matter.
To have that on. If Michael Vick would have played as many years as Donovan McNabb did in Philly, he would have shattered
No.
all of Donovan McNabb.
Negative.
Oh, yeah.
Stop it. Stop it.
Come on, dude.
Stop it.
Hell,
No.
Walter Payton threw for more yards than Donovan McNabb.
Stop. That's because Peyton Manning had receivers.
Walter Payton.
Oh. No. Stop it. You are definitely, and not to mention, in 03 when they played against each other in the NFC divisional playoff, the Eagles pounded the Falcons. And you trying to tell me that Vick was better?
That's because Vick only had Algie Crumpler. That was
Excuses.
Wasn't that great.
Excuses.
White passes all the time.
Excuses.
That's not an excuse.
Excuses.
It's the truth. You look at that Falcons offense and you look at that Eagles offense.
So you trying to tell me that his 2 interceptions doesn't mean nothing?
Who's 2 interceptions?
Vick.
Well, if they affected the outcome of the game, yeah. But
McNabb didn't throw any interceptions.
Quarterbacks don't throw interceptions.
I'm just saying McNabb didn't. But you said Vick.
Never throws interceptions.
But you said Vick is better than McNabb. McNabb didn't throw any interceptions that game.
Home run hitters.
I'm just you're bypassing the whole thing.
Strikeout leaders, right?
Every time they play,
Strikeout leaders.
the Eagles is always on top.
Yeah. But yeah, the Eagles, they're a great organization, all right.
The one time that Vick beat the Eagles wasn't even in the playoffs. Was not in the playoffs.
He didn't beat the Eagles. He smoked the Eagles.
They beat them by 4 points, 14-10.
Yeah, what did Vick have? 160 yards rushing.
200 yards rushing. 200 yards rushing. McNabb threw for 267 yards.
He didn't even break 300.
Doesn't matter. Vick only threw for 68 yards.
Yeah. And
I'm just saying.
it's just one or the other, right? You either rush for 200 or you throw for 200.
You've been better off putting Vick and Lamar Jackson in the same category, not McNabb and Vick. Lamar Jackson.
McNabb doesn't even. Well, how do you even drop McNabb into that? I'm
just saying McNabb can throw better than both of them guys. Vick and Lamar Jackson is just alike. Just alike.
You said Lamar Jackson could throw.
He can. He can, but he's not better than McNabb.
McNabb
No.
was horrible.
No, he wasn't.
At Syracuse, he was great.
No.
When he came to the NFL, his rookie season
No.
was pretty good.
You said he's terrible. You said he's terrible, right?
Terrible.
You said he's terrible, right? Do you want to change that before I state the obvious?
Why are we even doing this?
Look, you got on the kick about this, so
why are we doing this?
Because you don't look.
It has nothing to do with next season.
I'm just saying it has. It doesn't. But here we go.
We were talking about Andy Reid, and you brought up Donovan McNabb.
I'm just saying here, big guy. Just saying, because you said Vick was better than McNabb. No. Vic did not throw over 3,000 yards like his whole career. Not even a little bit, like McNabb did. That's all I'm going to say.
Why not?
Vic didn't do it. Vic didn't throw over 300 yards.
Why not?
His whole.
Because he's probably the only quarterback with the most rushing yards.
I think Lamar Jackson got that now.
No, Lamar Jackson is close.
I guess. I don't know. Vic only threw over 3,000 yards, threw over 3,000 yards twice. That was it. That was it.
What was his rushing for those seasons he did?
You would ask that question.
The dude was a beast, okay?
He was okay.
Just like Cunningham was a beast in his younger days. Randall Cunningham was insane. He was the new black face in the NFL when he started. The dude was, they used to call him what? Stretch Armstrong or Rubber Man or Plastic Man, because his body could bend in all kinds of directions and keep him upright.
I still can't believe.
Yardage on the ground. See, you were.
Still can't believe you said.
You were still drinking Enfamil at that time, maybe.
I still can't believe you said that Vic was better than McNabb. I'm puzzled about that big guy.
You just don't like Vic because of his conviction.
No, I just said I didn't like Vic. I'm just saying.
We fought dogs when we were growing up.
Who's we?
That was
Who
thing.
is we? We're not.
Me.
Okay.
My friends, my cousin. We did that stuff.
You shouldn't tell people that.
We had the baddest dog in the neighborhood.
You shouldn't tell people that.
Always did that.
You shouldn't tell people that.
That was a time when that stuff was legal. Okay? You frowned on it. Yeah, I don't agree that he should have killed the dog, burning them. But some dogs died in fights. That was just the way it was.
We're going to move on before we get any hate mail, okay? We're going to move on. Can't believe you just said that. Before we move on.
We grew up in different times.
Before we move on, hold on. Before we move on, do you see any issues with Kansas City defense, offense? Do you see any issues? Anything they need to fix?
Yeah, they probably need to get somebody to put some more protection around Mahomes.
You don't think they need a wideout or?
I don't know how many times he was sacked this year, but I know he was sacked more than he should have been.
Well, let's find out real quick before we go to the before we move on. What's going on? Let's see. He was sacked 26 times, which is not good, but it's not great.
Yeah, I mean, but for him to be getting the paycheck that he's getting, he needs
to be
protected better.
You're right. I think the receiving might need another. I mean, they have Juju, but how long is he going to stay?
He's a free agent.
And I mean, he did really good. He had over 900 yards receiving without dancing on people's logo.
Yeah, I think he was trying to get out of Pittsburgh. He can badmouth Pittsburgh all he wants to, but he was the reason they lost some games. They should have beaten New Orleans.
He was too busy TikToking.
Talking crap, talking about the Browns, same old Browns.
Do you think? Do you see Kansas City sign him back, or do you think he's done?
I don't know. I think it's up to Pat Mahomes myself.
I think
paying a guy that much money, I think he has to say so. And I know they had to restructure contracts. That's why Hill left, because they had to pay all that money to Mahomes.
We was talking about that. I can't believe Mahomes got all that money. I mean, don't get me wrong, he deserves it, but we both know every time someone gets a lot of money like that, they play a couple of years and then a gruesome injury that can end their career happens.
Well, it hasn't been happening yet.
No, it hasn't.
I think it's.
But he did get hurt.
Brother in there that's getting some top money.
He did. Oh, definitely. But he did get hurt more this year than he has, in the past. So.
but he's getting older. He's been in the league, what, 4 years?
No. He's been in the league about 6.
But he's getting older. He's
So-
not old, but as you progress through the years in the
He's
NFL,
he's 27.
think about the longevity of running backs.
Yeah, they only got a life expectancy in the NFL maybe 8 to 9 years.
So, I mean, depending on how many times he gets sacked and, receive injuries from those sacks,
Yeah.
can play a key role on
Oh,
how
definitely.
long he's going to last.
Definitely, yeah. He's been in the league for 6 years, and he's 27. So I don't know.
But as far as the AFC West goes, next year, I'd like to see the Chargers at the top. I think the Raiders will finish last because I think Peyton will turn the Denver Broncos around.
So you're trying to so before we move on to the AFC or NFC, you think the Chargers is going to be first. So do you think Kansas City's going to be second?
Yeah.
And then Denver third and Las Vegas last?
Yeah. That's the way I see it. I mean, I probably see it different, but
I can't argue with that. I like that. I mean, the Chargers does have a young core coming up. I think Sean Payton can help out Denver. I mean, he's already said that Russell Wilson's quarterback coach, that he uses isn't going to be allowed in the stadium. So I think
yeah.
I think he's going to turn his team around. I like Jerry Jeudy. I think Jerry Judy's going to be a top receiver for Russell Wilson. So see what happens.
Yeah. Let's wait and see. It's hard to tell, but
Especially,
I can't see the Raiders being any better than they were.
I honestly think the Raiders might win about 3 games. Just because I don't know who the quarterback's going to be.
Ouch.
I mean, you don't know who the quarterback's going to be. You don't know if it's going to be a rookie. You don't know if it's going to be an average vet. You don't know that. You don't know kind of things like that.
It
So,
might be Carson Wentz.
oh God, if it's him, they ain't going to win no games. I mean, they could go get Mitch Trubisky from the Steelers.
Yeah, okay. They'll be in the negative column.
The NFC West. The NFC West was. It started out kind of rocky for certain teams, and then, boom, they finished strong. We'll start out with the 49ers. They had a lot of ups and downs. Went from one quarterback to another to the third string quarterback. How do you think that's going to play out next year? Do you think, because of what Brock did coming in as a rookie, do you think it's his team or do you think it's Trey Lance's team still?
Yeah, that's Brock's team. Man. Trey Lance, even when he had his opportunities, he didn't fare too well. I mean, Brock came in and took this team, and the only reason they lost to Philly was because Brock got hurt.
Yeah.
And they brought in your favorite guy, Josh
Johnson.
What was his name? Johnson.
God, that guy was terrible.
Fourth string, Morgan.
I don't care. I'm not a quarterback. Never played quarterback, but I think I did better. I think I can do better than him. Shoot.
I think
whoever he needs to go to the X. He needs to go to the XFL.
Talk
Man.
about this every year, Morgan. Injuries, right? Injuries play. If they happen early in the season, that's a good thing.
But
and if you can stay healthy to the end, especially in December football, and then you win those last games and you build that momentum going into the playoffs. So I mean,
okay, so let me ask you a question.
The Niners will win the West.
No, I'm not going to doubt that. I'm not going to doubt that at all. But let me ask you a question. Do you think that Trey Lance is going to be traded? Or do you think they're going to keep him around to back up Brock?
They'll keep him to back up Brock. Because Trey Lance has a lot to learn.
True. But
he was a good talent coming in. But like you always say, that's college.
That is college, and it shows. It shows. Now, there's teams out there that needs a quarterback. The Colts is one of them. The Panthers, You don't like the idea of maybe even Las Vegas? You don't like the idea of them trading for Trey Lance?
It's not bad. It's the 49ers. The 49ers willing to let him go, and then who's going to be your number two if Jimmy G leaves?
Well, I think Jimmy G. I think he's a free agent, so I think he's going to be gone. I think he's going to leave. He wants to be the number one guy again, and I don't think
he's gone. And you let Lance go, then you got Josh Johnson.
Well, no,
as a number two, or because
I think he's done. I think they're going to let go of Josh Johnson
because Seattle is shopping for a quarterback and Geno Smith. You think they might pick up Geno Smith?
Man, after this year, Geno Smith had a really good year. I don't think he's going to be a backup. I look for Geno Smith to go to a team that needs a quarterback. Maybe the likes of Atlanta. Atlanta might they can use Geno Smith. Carolina.
I've been hearing more Atlanta Lamar Jackson talk. I've been hearing more of that with Atlanta. They are the team that's poised and has the cap space.
I don't. And I know we talked about Atlanta last week, but I don't see Lamar Jackson going to the Falcons. But
now with Lamar, it's money. It's not
that's
winning.
true. That's true. It is money. It is money. The question, there's a lot of teams out there that has money that can use them.
Think about Lamar. Think about the mark that Lamar would make in Atlanta because Michael Vick made a big mark there. And then to bring in another black quarterback that has pretty much the same skills, right?
I think Lamar, and I don't want to be wrong, but I think he would be better off in New Orleans. A team with like good receiving core. So, but New Orleans do have Alvin Kamara, so.
I just think that's Purdy's team, period.
The 49ers, yeah, but I can't. Yeah, you're right. I can't argue with you with that.
When did they lose after he got hurt?
Yeah, when he got hurt. Because he was undefeated there when coming in. I don't think they lost it. They was 10-0 him coming in.
Yeah,
they won 10 straight. So
you break down that division, so they'll be first now. Dak Prescott is looking over his shoulder as Cooper Rush.
And I honestly, I can't wait to talk about the Cowboys here in a couple, when we talk about them, but I think Cooper Rush should start over Prescott. We'll talk about that in the future, but that's how I feel.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know who would be second behind.
I don't know. If it was me,
San Francisco.
If it was me, because you can go get Matt Carroll from Carolina, because I think he's going to be let go. Maybe Sam Darnold. Go pick him up. The backup Brock. Man, there's a lot out there. Even maybe Jacoby Brissett. I don't know.
Well, I'm saying which team is going to be second? The Niners.
Oh, it's the team second to the Niners? Man, with this season, I don't know. A lot of injuries, like you said. Matthew Stafford was hurt, so the Rams didn't have a quarterback. If he comes back, I'm hoping maybe the Rams second. If not, I'm gonna go with Arizona. Arizona, with D-Hop being suspended those games, Arizona lost a lot of step in the receiving core. But when he came back, they was getting back on track, and then some injuries happened there too. So I'm gonna say between the Rams and the Cardinals gonna be second. Nothing against
D-Hop scheduled to leave.
No, they got him on trading block. It's not for sure that he's gonna get traded. But if he gets traded, then the Cardinals will be dead last again, like they was this year.
Well, not only that, the Rams are losing Ramsey and Wagner.
Bobby Wagner got cut already. Ramsey, there's talks that he might go to Minnesota. Minnesota has reached out to the Rams already this past week to try to get him. So See what happens. But I mean, that's
I think
two.
the Rams are done.
That's
They're
two big guys.
Seasons are done.
It's two big losses right there for on the defensive side for the Rams. Yeah, definitely. But I like the Rams' chances over Seattle because Seattle has that little bump of quarterback issue. Is Smith going to stay? Is Smith going to leave? Who's going to take the ring of Geno Smith leaves? So
Well, they're shopping quarterbacks. I do know that. So I'm thinking maybe San Francisco, Arizona. I think the Rams will probably finish last.
See, I'm going to disagree. I'm going to go with the 49ers. I'm going to take the Rams, and I'm going with the Cardinals third and Seattle last. And the only reason why I'm saying the Cardinals third and Seattle last is because we don't know the D-Hop situation. If D-Hop gets traded, that moves Seattle up and the Cardinals down last. Again, I know the Rams lost two big pieces on defense, but you can always gain those two big pieces back.
Defense wins championships, you say.
That's true. That is true.
Those are two key pieces. How do you replace those two key pieces?
Bobby Wagner didn't do too much this year for that team. I mean, you got you have Terrell Edmonds. That's true.
He's learning the defense.
But I think they want to stay young. They want to stay young. So being young, you have Terrell Edmonds, who's going to be a free agent. He's not great. He's not Bobby Wagner, but he's young and he's healthy. And maybe
Terrell Edmonds.
Yeah.
The Steelers, Terrell Edmonds.
Oh, I'm sorry, not Terrell Edmonds. My bad. Tamon Edmonds. Tamon. They got same name almost. Tamon Edmonds. My fault. Tamon Edmonds. I mean, he's not Bobby Wagner, but he would help out. And then you got to think about the Jets. The Jets drafted Sauce Gardner, and look what he's doing. So maybe the Rams, maybe the Rams are like, let's take a page out of their book and draft a defensive back in the draft. Maybe he could be a Sauce Gardner, which I don't think it's possible, but anything can happen.
They're talking about Joey Porter Jr. He's getting a lot of hype, but Joey Porter Jr. is a defender. He can't catch a cold, He won't get your interceptions, but he's a good shutdown. But
right.
I don't know where the Rams stand in the draft.
Oh, man.
They're looking because, do they need
and
a running back? Do they need another wide receiver to complement Cut?
Okay, so, and here's my thing. There's a lot of running backs as free agents. Shaquan Barkley's a free agent. Go get him if needing to be. Draft a wide receiver, groom him, or you can go out and maybe trade for a receiver. Because this Mike Evans, he's on a trading block. Why not go get him?
He's overrated.
I still think Mike Evans.
Mike Evans. I know you like Mike Evans.
And the reason why I saw Mike Evans is because I don't see Arizona trading D-Hop to the Rams because they're in the same division.
Yeah, that wouldn't make any sense.
And that's what I'm saying. Tampa Bay and the Rams don't play each other all the time, maybe once a year. And that's what I'm saying. Tampa Bay can trade Mike Evans to the Rams.
Anything is possible.
There's some, like I said, even Adam Thielen, he's on trading block. I hate to say it, but he is. He's on trading block. So maybe the Rams
You've been saying they need to let him go for how many years now?
He's never consistent. He's never healthy, but I like him. He's good for the community. So
community activity doesn't win you Super Bowl.
No, but he's from Minnesota and he gives back. That's a big thing. That's a real big thing.
I like it. I'd love to have him in Pittsburgh.
I know you would to help out Kenny Pickett. But yeah, I just don't see. I don't see anything happening right now with these two with NFC and AFC West. I don't see anything changing right now. but when it does, I think it's going to change a lot of ways in a good way. Maybe a bad way for some teams, but a good way for the most part. So, speaking of D Hop, we talk about D Hop being on the trading block. Where do you, I know you would like him in Pittsburgh, but in reality, where do you want him to be?
D-Hop?
Yes.
Pittsburgh.
Well, I know that, but in reality, where do you think he's going to end up?
I like him to be in Pittsburgh.
But where do you think he's going to end up?
You let Johnson go. Right, you bring. I'm really stuck on Pittsburgh getting Addison out of USC.
Man, he is.
You reunite him and Pickett.
He's going to be a monster.
And you got George Pickens. Oh my God.
He's going to be. But you got to think about Calvin Austin coming back. So yeah, so the question is, do you really want D-Hop over there with those three? If you get Addison, do you want D-Hop over there with them three studs?
No. If we get Addison and hold off on D-Hop, I wouldn't think we'd make a move until after the draft for D-Hop, right? Because you can still put a stud on the offensive line, right, at tackle. And then, we can talk about Pittsburgh and them later, but I really would love to get Addison out.
Oh, definitely. I know you would. I'm gonna make a statement, and I could be wrong, but it's a 50-50. I'm gonna say D-Hop's gonna end up in the AFC team for sure. And the AFC team, I believe he's gonna end up on. I think he's gonna be on Kansas City.
Yeah, it's possible.
And the reason why I say Kansas City, because Kansas City has some cap space, even though they gave Mahomes all that money, they could structure contracts, right? But they need another receiver. They got Travis Kelce over there, but they need another strong receiver, and I think D-Hop's that guy. And they can make a push for him.
D-Hop and let Smith-Schuster go?
I would. Wouldn't you? That makes sense, right?
Yeah, it does.
I mean, I really think he was going to end up in the AFC team. I don't think he would end up in the NFC team, or just because NFC teams they play, like I said, maybe once a year or so, and they don't want to play against D-Hop. They want him gone. They don't.
So if that happens, this changes
the landscape.
Changes
the landscape.
Does this change the order in the AFC West?
Definitely. If D-Hop goes to Kansas City, I'm saying Kansas City is going to go number one in that division. I don't.
Now,
you don't think so?
D-Hop's availability, is he hurt more than he used to be?
No. What got him was what got him this year was a suspension. If it wasn't for that suspension, he'd be fine. He'd been playing the whole game, the whole year.
What's his history though?
I think he had a couple of years there. I'm gonna look it up real quick, but I think he had a couple of years that he didn't play a full year just because of some injuries.
Yeah, and I think that's a game changer too. Like you said, it definitely puts Kansas City at the top of that division.
I mean,
if they did acquire D-Hop.
Oh, definitely. I mean, he'll be a good receiver. Like I said before, Kansas City don't have a true number one receiver, and D-Hop can be that guy. So, yeah, I mean, last year and this year is the only two he hasn't played the whole year, but this year is because of suspension.
How many games did he miss though last year or the year before the?
He missed 7 games.
That's a lot of games. That's almost half of the season.
But I mean, I want to say, and I could be wrong, but I want to say it's because of the suspension, because he got in trouble for.
Well, I'm talking about before.
Before. Yeah.
You know what? I mean, because he was in Houston, right?
No, he was in Arizona.
No, I'm saying he played in Houston.
Oh yeah. He did. That's where he came from.
Yeah. So what was his availability?
In Houston, he played
when he was in Houston, and then when he went on.
in Houston, he
from
played.
Houston.
Houston, he played every game, every snap, every game. And then when he in 2021, he only played 10 games, and then I guess he had some injuries there. And then this past year, he only played 6 or 9 just because of the suspension. So not a lot of history there, missing a lot of games.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's a good thing.
So, but here's my take, and I just seen this pop up when I was looking at his stats. And you're gonna laugh when I tell you this, Holder, but Spears, he played for the Cowboys, of course. He said the Cowboys need DeAndre Hopkins to be a Super Bowl contender. Yes or no?
No.
No.
They need a quarterback.
Exactly. I was gonna say the same thing. I knew he was gonna be on the same page on that.
No, because that was the same deal with Romo. They had talent, but Romo was too sketchy. He was good during the regular season, but he couldn't lose big games.
Oh, definitely.
So I mean, you can have all the skill players you want. If your quarterback isn't earning his money, then what do you do? You have to depend on the defense to score points.
Right.
At least one touchdown a game.
Definitely. Definitely. I mean,
I just don't think I don't have faith in Dak Prescott. I like Dak Prescott, but I don't have that kind of faith or trust.
I don't think Prescott has what it takes to win a Super Bowl. And we've seen that this past year with all those interceptions he's thrown. He couldn't even beat a rookie quarterback.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Even before when they let what's his face go to Cleveland, the wide receiver,
Amari Cooper.
When they let Cooper go, that was talent right there.
Oh, definitely.
Right? You got C.D. Lamb, you got all these other great guys, and he still can't pull the plug. He just doesn't come up with it, man. So they need a quarterback. If they got D-Hop, they still would need help. Understand, man.
I get D-Hop's really good, but also they need a running game because Elliott. I don't think Elliott's that guy. And what's his face? Man, Pollard. He's hurt. I don't think he'll come back the same because he had a gruesome injury. So.
Yeah, but I still think that's Pollard. I think they'll let Elliott.
And Elliott's playing, on a non-guaranteed contract. So.
Yeah. He's overweight.
Oh God, he is.
He's drinking beer. He's just not. He's not what he used to be.
No, especially with Ohio State. Speaking of Ohio State and colleges, the draft combine started, this week, and one name stuck out to me, and I remember we talked about these. You like, why you send me this stuff? Jalen Carter. He's a top NFL draft prospect. He's charged with racing in a fatal crash. Like, this guy was supposed to be like, a top 5 pick in this draft. Where do you see him? Do you think his career is done? Think it's over with? Or do you think he's going to beat this and a slap on the wrist?
I don't know anything about the young man. I just know that if we weren't looking at him, I really don't care. I really don't care. To be honest, it's not a knock on him.
Oh, right. Well,
athletes do good things and athletes do bad things.
He's a defensive tackle but he's being charged with a teammate and a recruiting staff member's death. From him and a couple teammates, they was racing. Alcohol did play a favor in it. Now this guy, his life can change. Going from winning 2 national titles.
What do you do as was a scout. Do you take the chance on him?
Well, he got to warrant out for his arrest. So I wouldn't take no chance on him. I wouldn't. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's his first offense.
Yeah,
right?
but killing a
think
teammate.
You can trust that he'll walk a straight line.
Here's my thing. I don't think it's gonna be a slap on the wrist. I think he's gonna do some jail time. How much I don't know, because he killed a teammate and a member of the recruiting staff. So that's two people's death. Alcohol and then trying to race a street race, right? And if no one died, I would say a slap on the wrist. Since there's two people that died, I really think he should spend about 20 plus years in prison. He knew better.
20 plus? I don't think 20. That's understood because it wasn't murder.
No,
right?
it's gonna be man's. But I mean, if it's a slap on the wrist, you gotta think about it, right?
I don't think it'll be a slap on the wrist.
You don't think so?
People go dead, like you said. That's severe, right? But 20 years is too much. Maybe 10, maybe 5. You know, still it damages his future.
Right. I mean, you go. And I get what you're saying about 20 plus. I get it. It might be a little steep, but with me, it's just that thinking of, man, like, this guy has so much talent and he's wasting it because of a dumb decision. It was a night of the winning championship. They won championship. They was going partying, whatever. I get it. You're happy, but do it smart. Do it smart.
Yeah, well, like I say, athletes do great things. Athletes do.
And not to mention that he lied to the
athletes caught up. Remember that rape allegation thing? What was the other one? Oh man, there's so many out there that these college players.
Oh God!
Have dug themselves a hole. It's even though they're athletes, they're human, right?
Right.
And with the way that the world is turning today, and I don't want to sound like an old head, there's not a lot of rash decisions being made out there. So, yeah, I think he should get that jail time. Yes, because 2 lives were lost, and you can't replace that.
Definitely,
right? You
definitely.
can't replace that, and you got to have some level of responsibility for that. So you take your lumps like a man. You don't live with mom. You're doing your own thing. You're a grown man. I mean, so with those things, there's repercussions, right?
Right, and look at Dante Starworth. Remember, I want to say he played for the Browns at his time of arrest. He got arrested for manslaughter, drinking and driving, killed somebody. He only did 18 months. It's not a lot of time. This guy killed 2 people. I think he needs more than 18 months if he gets jail time.
He shouldn't get less than. He shouldn't get more than 5 years. I don't think. Plus some probation and maybe some community service. Now,
if he doesn't get jail time, if he does go to the NFL, he should send some of that money. He should send his first paycheck, his first contract to the family that he killed. I know it ain't gonna bring back the loved one, but it will help out of bills that they had to do, debt they had to put in. So
it would help, but it wouldn't work in his favor.
No,
families wouldn't change their thoughts.
Oh, definitely not. But it's showing them I'm taking accountability. It's my fault. That, I'm sorry. I can say sorry, but it's not gonna bring back your loved one. But I'm taking accountability. I want to pay my debt. Here you go. Pay it on the bills. What I mean? Again, it's not gonna change things. I know, but I was just saying.
Yeah, well, Morgan, with your short stature, you do have a big heart.
I do, man.
By the way, listeners, Morgan is 5'1",
am 5'4".
His baby girl is taller than he.
I am.
She helps him cross the street and everything.
Oh my God! I am the same height as Kevin Hart.
Oh my God.
5'4", man. I haven't. But speaking of Kevin,
when you guys put on high top shoes, they come up to your knees. Come on.
Speaking of Kevin Hart, man, I hope some way somehow he's listening because I want to make a movie with him called Twinsies. Hashtag it. Hashtag Twinsies. With that being said, hashtag Twinsies. With that being said, subscribers, listeners, football fans, I want to say thank you for listening. Thank you for joining. It's almost the end of the show. If you have any comments, send them to us. Our email is thirddown, 3RD down with Morgan Holder at gmail.com. Also look for us on Twitter, Third Down with Morgan Holder. Facebook as well as Third Down with Morgan Holder, and our YouTube. Subscribe, like, comment, leave us messages. I cannot wait until next week. Next week is going to be another good week. Hopefully Holder doesn't fall asleep and he listens to my phone go off when I call him or text him. It's his fault while we're doing it.
How can I hear your phone going off? My phone should be going off.
You know what? You got me. Your phone should be, yes. Yeah, you got me. With that being said,
hey, before I let you sign off, no, I'm not gonna let you sign off. I think it's only fair that we let the subscribers and listeners know what we're gonna talk about next week because it could be their team. So we got.
Oh man, that's true. That is true. Hopefully, we don't have no team out there that's or no listeners. I know we got a couple listeners because of my brothers, but I hope there's nobody else out there that's NFC East fans because we're going to talk about the NFC East next week. So we got the Cowboys, the Eagles, the Giants, and the Commanders next week for the NFC East. I can't wait because I got so much to talk about on that squad, and then the AFC East. AFC East is going to be the talk about it also because there's questioning going on there with some teams, but that's the Buffalo Bills, the Dolphins, the Patriots, and the Jets. I can't wait till next week. It's going to be phenomenal. With that being said, if you guys, anybody like that likes those teams that we just named for the NFC East and the AFC East, let us know. We'll give you a shout out. We'll let you know. Let the listeners know who you are and your team, as well as this week. This week we went on about the AFC West and the NFC West. So please, if you like any team that we talked about this week or last week, give us a shout out. We'll let the listeners know. Holder, do you have anything to say before I sign off?
You do your sign off. I'll say what I have to say before I sign off because we all know my sign off is the most important sign off.
That's true. That is true. With that being said, listeners and football fans, don't let fourth down get you.
And hey, look here, this is Holder. I just want to say, got a crazy season coming up. Nobody knows what's going to happen. We got the quarterback carousel going. We got free agents all over the place. And the draft is coming up next month. So we can talk about all these free agents and these divisional teams. So you guys make sure you tune in because I got a feeling Morgan, Mr. Stats, will do his research and dig deep for this next one because I think the AFC East is going to be a complex division next season. So with that being said, I want to say, thank you guys for tuning in and tune in next week for the same deal. I'm going to say stay penalty free. I'm out of here.